Haru and Yuki, Yuki Haru, Haru and Yuki, Yuki Haru.
The Ox and Rat Podcast, also known as OARs. All right, what is good, people? Satsuki the Savage here. Ox and Rat Podcast with my co-host Perry. Perry, you want to say something to the people?
How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday evening in the East Coast?
Listen, man, it's a couple of things I got to bring up before we get to the episode, but I think the first thing I want to say is hopefully this doesn't go on too long because I do want to watch some of the playoffs because I haven't watched basketball in a while, so I want to actually watch some of this play-in stuff.
The play-in today?
Yeah, they had the Hornets and the Pacers play first. I think the Wizards, no, not the Wizards because they're in the AC. Some other team's supposed to play later on at 9. So hopefully we don't go over too much. But besides that, the first thing I want to bring up that has nothing to do with the episode, but it does have something to do with Fruits Basket. Have you heard the news about the episode count?
Oh, no, I've not heard nothing about it.
Apparently, we are only getting 13 episodes of Fruits Basket.
Wait, huh?
That is word on the street.
Wait. Okay, so have you been in the fruit? I know you haven't been a Fruit Basket channel, but like Kyoko was already saying like, oh, they kind of rushing a few things, but I want them to get everything done, and that's what her assuming that we was getting 24 episodes, but now we just getting 13. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, and this news seems to be true. I mean, I've seen a couple of. I didn't just get this information just from a tweet or something. I digged around and there's multiple people saying it's going to be 13 episodes. I still don't know if it's true, but it's looking like it could be true. So, like, how do you think? Like, do you feel like things are being rushed just from your perspective, like disregarding what manga readers are saying?
Not well. I already assume since we're the final season, we want to get like the kind of like the fluff we got in the first 2 seasons, like building shit up to like the main plot.
Yeah.
Cause so I really didn't feel like it was the pacing was off for me. But now with now you saying 13, like, cause okay, but before I was kind of a little worried because I was like, damn, we getting a lot of stuff. Like, cause like how high and intense these last 7 episodes have been. I was like, we're gonna stretch this out for 24 episodes. In the back of my mind, I was thinking that because I was like, it's a lot. Fruit Basket must be a lot longer than I thought for them to stretch to have this kind of drama for 24 episodes.
Yeah, I get what you're saying from that. I am a little worried. Right now, like things look fine, but like I hope it's not another The Promised Goofy Land to where like they just completely go off the rails, because especially with Fruits Basket, because this is a case where you had 2 seasons where you, from what I've heard from manga readers, you adapted the story pretty well. In a lot of cases, a lot of people say they prefer the anime to the manga. So you did the first 2 seasons with 25 episodes and you did the story well, and then you get to the very last season and you decide cutting it in half pretty much. And if we were to do that, that means we're already halfway done with Fruits Basket, being 7 episodes into it. And for all the stuff they had to cover, like I don't even think that's enough episodes to cover all the stuff that's going on with the Somas. You always got to remember, we still got to go back to the school and get some closure with those characters and get some closure with Toru's friends, Utani and Hana. So if there's 6 episodes left, this is very bad for Fruits Basket. Right now it doesn't look like it, of course, but that's concerning.
Yeah, because did we even start like our official 3rd year yet?
Nope.
We started, right?
We haven't they haven't gone to school and like been 3rd years.
Wow, that is crazy. Because like the whole big thing was like, all right, next spring is when Kyo's supposed to be locked up.
Yeah.
But like that's like, are we just going to like especially what happened this episode. Like, are we just gonna like fast forward a lot? Like, this is crazy.
What somebody said that could happen, which, I don't really like this, but it would be better than them just trying to rush everything out. Somebody suggested that they could do 13 episodes, not cover everything, and possibly do like the last thing with a movie or something like that. That would be much more preferable than them trying to gun it and cover everything with this last season, if 13 episodes are to be the real episode count. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just crazy because it's like, okay, you first do Fruits Basket in like the we do it in like 2004 6-ish when the first season anime came out. First anime came out. Yeah,
2001.
Yeah, 2001 you did the first anime and you couldn't do all of it because Fruit Basket was still going on. But now you had the story like complete. Like, why not just like pace it wet? Like, this is one of the things where I wish like we had some kind of like transparency with studios so we could see like what's going on behind the scenes. Because I'm pretty sure Fruit Basket is doing pretty like it has to do pretty well financially. Yeah, I think it has to. It's loved by a lot of people. A lot of people enjoy it. Like, I don't know what is going on with this. This is crazy.
Let me get into some of the comments. Ash, before we went live, said, Satsuki, you got to get into Kubera. It's online webtoons. The genre is fantasy, romance. I've seen Kako talk about that series. I think Choco, I've seen my brother Nai talk about that series. I'll probably read it eventually. I have no plans to do it. I'm reading a lot of series at the moment right now. But, do you read that series, Perry?
What series?
Kubera.
Nah, I haven't heard it, but I've seen people talk about it a lot.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about that, especially now. He's been pushing that real heavy on his channel and been talking about it on there. But nothing against that series, but I'm just not looking to read that right now. So Darius is here, said, yo, Math, my boy Math, are we starting? Mace, yes. John Boy, hi dads. Oh, whoa. What up, John? Mal said, I'm so mad about the episode count, especially since there's enough source material for full 25 seasons. Yeah, from what I've heard from the manga readers, they pretty much adapted before this season 2/3 of the series, so this would have been the final third. May said Mal and Annie List have it as 13 episodes too. Mav said, I think went too far. Matt said, I think manga readers might be the ones who think it's rushed. I read the manga and can tell you that they're doing a decent job with the anime. King Bayo said, how many chapters are they covering? Don't know. QRW6 said, what up, Satsuki and Perry? I was feeling bad for Akito. Then she made me say, what the fuck? It was so funny when I was live reacting to that. I don't want to talk about it in detail yet, but when I was live reacting to it, I was like, before that scene happened, I was like, yeah, Akito can be redeemed, like it's possible. And then she did that, and I was like, I was sitting there like, oh my god, bro, like you can't defend Akito, man. She does not make it easy.
I seen your tweet after you watched the episode. Yeah.
Mal said, I don't think anime onlys think it's rushed. They're probably just thinking it's intense, which makes sense if they are covering more material in an episode. All right, so let's get into it. I think we'll start in order for right now. We'll talk about Kyo. We got a little more of his insight when it came to the scene of Kyoko's death. So what did you think about like the first sequence we seen with his Kyoko's death and his mother's death?
Oh, I think it goes back to well, before we even get to that, we got a little bit moment of like Kyo and Kyokai sitting on the metal things, metal tubes, talking to just about life and everything else. And then Kyoko was basically saying like, even if the world doesn't need me, someone else does. And I think that's really imperative to like her relationship with Toru, and kind of like how Kyo sees himself in the story, because in this episode he talks about like how like he always seen himself as like a burden to everybody around him, and he always felt like he was like the punching bag. Like we've got this last week episode that many of the Zodiacs see him as a punching bag, and they look down on him because he's like the black sheep of the Zodiacs.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of get more into that.
Yeah. So what Kyoko said kind of ties into. I don't want to go too deep into this though. It's like an inverse of what's going on with Rain and Akito's relationship, and you know how botched that is. I won't go deep into that until we actually talk about those characters. But when it comes to the scene with Kyo reliving the past where he sees Kyoko dead, I think it puts more credence into our idea that well you came up with the idea that maybe Kyo tried to like, or you know, something to do with the curse, like maybe Kyoko tried to grab his bracelet and he like pushed her and maybe like that caused the accident. But we also left it up to like it could also just be that he's confusing things because of his mother's death. And I think this episode gives that more credence because he's thinking about those moments at the exact same time.
Yeah, and like even when he see the moment of his, even when he see the visions of his mom, we don't know much about Kyo's mom, but I'm pretty sure she had to be like a decent human, a decent person for Kyo to like actually love her as much as she does. And just seeing her say, "Let's come back inside. You killed me. Come back inside." And then Kyoko, someone we know a lot about, saying, "I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive you," gives the credence that is more of his. How he thinks these people would have reacted to these actions if they were still alive.
Yeah. I thought another scene that I didn't really think about, because we knew this since season 1, Kyo and his mother's relationship, where she would always like try to like shelter him and wouldn't let him go outside. We knew about that relationship, but I didn't think about it in the grand scheme of like Kyo has been kind of like groomed or like prepped to be in a position of the cat zodiac, which is their destiny is to be locked up in that storage room. And you know they're locked up, no outside contact besides the maze and whatever. And like how his mother treated him was already a taste of that type of lifestyle. Obviously getting locked behind bars in a dark room is much worse, but like I said, it's just a little glimpse of what's supposed to be his future. Now another thing with the whole Kyoko scene was we also saw that Kyo saw the body of Toru. So like, cause Kyo's mom said, you better go back inside or something scarier will happen. So in Kyo's mind, if he just lives his life interacting with Toru and everything, he fears that the same fate will befall Toru, that he will hurt her. So we're getting a lot of the reason why Kyo might be distant. I think he's going to be like next episode, I think is going to be like pretty bad for Kyo. Like I think he's going to do something real stupid. I think he's going to do something real stupid.
Yeah, because I think just him losing his mother, losing Kyoko, and then like potentially losing Toru. Like I think he's like, all right, man, let me just. In my opinion, like because we might only get like 13 episodes, maybe he might just go in a cage already. Maybe just give up on the competition and just go in a cage for himself, like next episode. Because it seems like he's really like against like starting a relationship with Toru now.
Yeah, it could be one of those things where it's like I'll be locked up just to protect you guys from myself. Because we already seen Kyo's mindset when he was in his true transformation. He like smacked Toru, and he still feels guilt about that. But like his reaction was, just like stay away from me. Like I'm a monster, and I think he still feels that way. He was saved by Toru on that day, but those feelings weren't properly addressed to where I think Kyo has gotten over them, and the past is tying him back. And that seems to be a theme too within the show, like the ghost of these characters like tying you down and weighing on you. We already see that with Kyoko and Toru. Now we're seeing it with Kyo's mom and Kyoko with Kyo. So
yeah, we also see that further with like other characters later on in the show. Later on in this episode, I meant.
Yeah. So it's about time to get to the Rain and Shigure convo.
Okay, before we get to that, like, what was your reaction when he said with the Shigure and Rain conversation?
Mm-hmm.
That shit was funny to me. Shigure had me dying.
You talk about
because
the one thing he. Well, go ahead.
Oh, okay, nah, so he was right on the ball when he was saying like, dang man, you know, he said, damn, the reason I look at you like this is because I'd be like, damn, that's what Akito could have been if you didn't make up to a guy. I was like, bro, damn.
His exact words are, "It lets me fantasize about whether she looked like you if she lived as a girl." When he said that line, I just paused the video. I just said, bro, Shigure is just like, this nigga should not be in Fruits Basket.
He's a savage. He's in the wrong show.
That line is just like, in context, out of context. That line is just a wild thing to say to someone. Because the whole time Rain is looking at him, like basically saying like, I see the look in your eyes, thinking that she's the shit, thinking that, you know, Shigure fantasizes over her, and he's like, nah, I'm really looking past you and thinking like, damn, this could be Akito. Like that's crazy to me.
Hang on, this episode Ren was looking. Whew.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that when she first appeared, because when we just seen the hand, at first I was like, oh shit, Akito, and then I seen, I was like, oh no, I said that is not Akito. I said, oh, that's Rain, that's all Rain right there. Yeah, Rain, man. Man, it's a lot of days I'll be like, man, I can't even blame Shigure. I'll be like, I understand why you did it. I understand. But
yeah, another thing. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay, another thing we learned is that like Shigure was literally the mastermind behind the whole like well, we know now, but Akira's soul being taken away because he told Ran about it, and she used that information to try to take it from Akito, because she didn't even know that was like something that he left behind for Akito. So Shigure's putting is once again his action of putting everything in motion. Like he sets everything up.
Yeah, he's the master manipulator in this series. I didn't, you know, we've known that for a while, but I didn't know it extended to Rain as well. Thinking about that, I mean, that pretty much ties her into the story. So he's connecting a lot of the people, or a lot of the characters to interact with each other, which is kind of crazy. So mad props to Shigure. He's a character that I don't favor a lot, but his importance in the story cannot be like understated. Like he has so much gravity when it comes to like what goes on in the story. Like he wields a lot of this shit, and he does it for the shadows, because he's like you said in one episode, season 2. I don't get my hands dirty. He doesn't. He's not the one who's doing it.
Man, Shigure is so smooth with it too, because he just know how to he know how to move people right where they need to be at the right amount of time. Like when he first met Tori was like, I'll tell you more about the curse. Like, nah, you ain't ready for that. Ain't ready for that yet. You ain't ready. Ain't ready for that car yet.
Yeah, you got to be a little level higher. Then talk to me.
Yeah. That's crazy. Shigure is, man. I think he's probably one of the most interesting characters, just on like his mindset about everything.
Yeah. If you were to have like Shigure to be your favorite character, like I would understand it. But we learned what was in the box. Just jumping ahead a little bit, but we learned what was in the box. It's something we was speculating about 3 podcasts ago, because it was episode 4, I believe. We were like wondering like what could be in there, because it leads you to, they never said it, but when you say like a person is in something and it's in this container of a box, like the first thing most people are going to assume are ashes. That's what, that's what we're calling it throughout the episode. But then I think I said like, what if it's not ashes? Like I was like, they never said it, so it kind of seems weird. I don't think either of us said it was going to be nothing in the box at all, but like, yeah, for it to be nothing, it didn't come as a shock to me. But when everything got explained and everything, I was like, okay. I actually like the fact that it was nothing inside this box.
Yeah. Because I don't know about you, but like that one maid, I don't know if we still got her name yet, but she is like, oh my god, like she's like a like I don't know how to describe her character. She's like the true, like it's like she's like the true villain of everything.
She is like, damn, it's a character I want to compare her to. It doesn't matter. She is like loyal to a fault. Like it doesn't matter what a character does or whatever, she's going to be for them 100%. And a lot of people respect loyalty, but like I said, loyal to a fault. She is a little too much for Akito, and before Akito is Akira. So like she's a little too overbearing, but I guess that shows you like how the different like factions work, because Rain also has a maid who's in the same way that loyal to her, and it kind of gives more credence to the competition between Rain and Akito. So I think that's cool. I still don't think we got a name for her though.
That's crazy.
I just call her like head maid or the old hating maid, one of those things.
Great. She got more lines than Ritsu. And she still ain't got a name.
Does she? She's been in more episodes for sure. She's been in more episodes. She has definitely been in more episodes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. If it's 13 episodes, what's gonna happen? Like,
oh, we already know, man. Ritsu, let's be honest. Ritsu ain't getting no episode. It's 13 episodes. Oh yeah, it'll even be like the Toru and Kyo show for like the last 2. Bro. Maybe Akito somewhere in there, and maybe Yuki.
Bro, and that's the thing about this. I'm going on a tangent, but like that's the thing about Ritsu. Why I don't really care for Ritsu, because his episode didn't leave a big impact on me the way others have. Like Kazuma he's not really in the show like that, but I think his first showing in episode 23 or 24, whatever, he had like a lot of weight to the story because his relationship with Kyo. Ritsu is a character that, because he has like no real ties to anybody, like the only person he's really connected to is like Kagura, and they don't really interact like that. So what makes Ritsu so bad is that we're seeing these curses break or whatever.
Yeah.
If his curse were to break, who would care? Like the niggas would just be like, oh, okay. Like when Hero's curse broke, like it had like a lot of weight because he's holding his sister. Like he can finally do that, and his mom hugs him. If Ritsu's curse were to break, like maybe he'll have like a scene with his mom, like, but that'll be it. I would not care. Like that's the issue with it, I think.
Yeah, it's just, man, I feel bad for Ritsu. I feel like if Ritsu one of your favorite characters, he like a top 5 character for you, you got problems, man. Like you got problems.
We gotta talk.
There's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason Ritsu should be nowhere near your top characters.
Matt said, I don't think Shigure meant for Rain to recruit Izuzu. He actually called her out by saying that it was a secret. He didn't want Rain to get the box. The old maid should be called the way Haru called her, a hag. Yeah. There's nobody else we would refer to with that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about like the flashback with Rain and Akira. Do you have any opinion on Akira? Or he's just like a whatever character to you?
Yeah, he's just like a whatever character to me. Cause the way he's presented like part like a loner type character who's very quiet, didn't have much like direction in life. And I think that the people around him kind of put him on a pedestal where like no one else could get close to him because of his status, and it probably got him made develop loneliness. And I think that Rain kind of like helped him a lot in that time, because like I think when the head maid was complaining about Rain because she was a quote unquote servant, he was saying like, yeah, but she's the only one who actually like got to know me and got actually like I felt real connections with.
Yeah. I got a lot to say about their relationship, not with Akira, because like yeah, he just like he serves his purpose in that he's kind of like the catalyst for Akito and Rain's actions, but I think like the character himself is whatever. Mav said, what about Ritsu and Michonne? They have a relationship, but would like, it's an emotional thing. Would I care about that? Because like they only had like a brief interaction. I expect them to be a couple by the end of the series, but I wouldn't really care that like Ritsu could now hug Michonne because the curse is broken. Like it doesn't really have emotional weight to me.
Yeah, maybe we had an episode where like they went on a date, and then like Michonne was like, or maybe like they were dating for a little minute, and Michonne was like, "I don't know why he never hugs me," or something like that. Maybe that could have make the relationship more impactful in the moment of him breaking his curse, like better overall. But because we have no like groundwork setting that up for a payoff, it just won't work, in my opinion.
Yeah, because really all we had was that one episode, and that the moments between them boils down to, if you add them all up, maybe like 3 minutes, you know, when they were walking back from getting groceries and when they actually got to the house. But what I was going to say with Rain and Akira's relationship, now, see, like this is kind of difficult. And I actually think it ties back to something else in the story, because you said that Rain like helped Akira, but I actually think she took advantage of him. And that's not to say that it didn't bear anything good. But when I say take advantage, I feel like she's seen Akira was lonely and felt that she could be like the sun in his universe. And that's something she wanted. So that's why she approached him and got together with him. That's not to say that she didn't have any feelings for him and it was whatever. But what I was going to say that it ties back to is like when Cosmo was talking about hoping that Toru doesn't fall in love with Kyo because of pity, and you know, also his grandmother. It's kind of like he said that while that alleviated the loneliness of his grandfather and it would alleviate the loneliness of Kyo, he doesn't want love to be born from pity. And I think this love may have been rooted out of something more murky. Like I said, her taking advantage of wanting to be like the star of Akira's show, or I guess you could also say it could be like a monetary thing, because she was a lowly maid. She obviously wasn't like the head person, and then because she's with Akira, she has status now. She has clout. People have to listen to her. They can't dismiss her. So that's how I take their relationship. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like it's left to our interpretation.
Okay, so see, at first I kind of felt the same way you felt, but I watched it again, and I just the way like how she reacted to like his death and his just like still holding on to him. I feel like it had to be like it had to be genuine love on both sides, and I think it might be one of the things where it's just been like sight for Ren. I just that's what I assume it must have just been that, and then like she and Akira like both became people who like depended on the other and was able to like get them out of their like situations.
Yeah,
but that's my take on it.
But the reason why I say this too is like that's why I say it's not. I don't think she felt nothing for Akira. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like it started out in a bad way, with maybe Rain having like some malicious intent, or not malicious but not good. But the only reason I say this because like how possessive she was in this episode and some of the words she said, like when Shigure was leaving, she said like, I saved Akira, and I was the only one in Akira's world. And that's like a weird thing to say for somebody that you genuinely feel for, You know, even if it's something that's true, it's just how she views herself in that relationship. I think is weird. But besides that, with the box, what was told to Akito was that it was Akira's soul in there, and this was the head maid's doing. It was just her, and I find that cool because this moment that relationship kind of parallels to Toru's grandpa and Toru. Like, you remember, was this last episode? Where
last episode, yeah.
Where Toru's grandpa explained why he calls Toru Kyoko.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, because in the same way, the maid seen Akito was affected by her father's death, and then she wanted to give something to her to kind of like remind her that, you know, this is your father, like he's still here. And like I said, it ties back to Toru's grandpa because he's calling her Kyoko to remind her like her memory still lives on. So I found that kind of interesting.
Oh yeah. It goes back to the parallels between like Toru and Akito, and kind of like how the lives kind of like mirror each other's like a darker way. How they're both tied to the past.
Yeah. That's a big point. Because I think this episode like made that more clear with them, because they're tied to a dead parental figure, and they is manifested in this item that they have. In Toru's case is the picture of Kyoko that she takes everywhere. In Akito's case is this box that she always like guards it. So I think that's cool too. So with Rain and Akito's relationship, this whole thing really started because Rain was jealous. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Basically, what it comes down to, it gets to a point where like, yeah, it's just pure jealousy. It's like her relationship with Akira, like for her, she was like, Akira was my everything. He's everything to me. I have everything of his. He has everything of mine. We are perfect together. There's nothing that come between us. Because Rin got pregnant, and the other Zodiacs, the younger ones at this time, Shigure, Kureno, Ayame, and Hattori, like found out. She was like, "Fuck, they know," and that kind of like crashed the whole world down.
So yeah, it seems like you took away the same point I got from that moment.
Yeah. Question: did we get the? Oh, guys, do we know, like, was Akito raised? Akito was raised as a guy before her father died, right?
As far actually, I don't know that. Cause actually, no, yeah, she had to be, because Shigure was talking about that. Shigure said that Rain was basically telling everybody to treat Akito as a guy, and this was before she was born, as far as I'm aware.
Oh yeah, because she threatened the abortion. Yeah, she threatened the abortion thing. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird that Akito keeps that up. Because
do you think that the? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because you would think that since, you know, Akito like despises her mother, that she would act like a girl to spite her.
I wonder why Akira was so okay with it though.
He seems very submissive. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I get that, but like, I don't know. I feel like it was one of the things where, like, I don't know. I just feel like I guess you're right. He's very submissive, but I thought he at least not put his foot down, but like, you know, have some inputs about that. Like tell her she don't have to do this when on his deathbed. You know what I mean? There's something. But I guess that goes back to him like just wanting the two most important people in his life to like come together and just love each other.
Yeah, that's the ironic thing about like his death, and like how everybody took it, or mainly Akito and Rain, because they both felt like Akira loved the other more than them. That's why Rain, you know, started this whole crusade against Akito, and Akito was also feeling like Akira loved Rain more, and it's it's ironic that Rain believes that Akira feels more strongly towards Akito when he died. His final word was Rain. That's the last thing he said before he died, but she wasn't even there to hear it. I find that like real ironic. I wonder how she would have reacted in knowing that her final word was Rain.
Yeah, and it's more tragic because even Akito, because Akito was able to hear her father's last words, she even questioned oh, well, at the end of the day, he loved the Rain more than me. And then the head maid comes in and says, no, that's not true. You're the one he praised more than anything. He don't care about that woman, and gave her the box to basically solidify her as being Akira's number one, even though Akito deep down in her heart knew she wasn't really.
And then what Akito also did was ignore what Akira was saying, because what he was saying was, I wish my wish was that Rain could love you pretty much the way I do. That was his wish, that they all could be an actual family. So it's not that he was saying I love Rain more or anything like that. I think both of them just interpreted his words, well, not his words, because Rain didn't hear anything. They just did not understand his intentions and his wants, and it's kind of tragic because those are the two people that closest to him. But in Akito's case, you can understand it because she's a fucking kid. So, and I think that's where it all starts with Akito's character, because she don't got no guidance. For Rain to be her mother, it's a bad thing all around. My point is going to be long, but how do you feel Rain's impact was on, how heavy do you think Rain's impact was on Akito?
Are you talking like a direct relation, her actually raising a child, or more how to describe it, or more a passive approach, she wasn't really there, she didn't really have no hand in raising her?
I think both of those include Rain's impact on her, because not being there is still, because it's her, it has an impact. So how much of Akito, how much of the Akito that we see now is due to Rain's actions or lack thereof?
I think it has to be all of her actions, because it seems like Akito and Rain started competing against each other. Basically was going just like how the families are have factions. They was going against each other every step of the way, and I feel like that kind of affected Rain a lot, because she had nobody to really raise her and teach her what was best. Only thing she had was the dying words of her father, which didn't really help her a lot, because it kind of it's still this thing of her being special and being this chosen child that everybody has to love no matter what. And I gave her a warped oh, go ahead.
No. You finish your point first.
Oh, and it just gave her a warped perception of what love is, and what are real connections with people.
First, I want to read. Light came in the chat. He said, "My favorite fruits." Talking about Fruits Basket. Pog. Yandere Shiki, what up? C Tactus is here. He said, "I'm a big fan. Perry, can you say my name on stream?"
I got you. What's up, C Tactics? Love the channel. Love the podcast you do with Satsuki and EA. I watch it every week.
Hey. I was gonna say, it's kind of funny. This thing has come up. Okay, first, Rain had a big impact on Akito's relationship. Huge impact. But I think it's a lot of people too. We're gonna talk about Kureno later, but I think he has an impact. And what you were saying at the end with Akira, he has a big impact on Akito, because that's somebody she actually respects. And I think Akira's fault, and it wasn't supposed to be a fault. If he lived longer, he could have guided her more, but as a child, she just took it and it warped into something bad, into a god complex pretty much. But I think the problem is Akito was told that she was special too early. It's kind of I'm tying this back to Dragon Ball. the original Dragon Ball series, not Dragon Ball Z. When Goku and Krillin are taking they enter the Tenkaichi Budokai. Master Roshi, spoilers for some reason, he poses as another fighter, Jackie Chun, and he enters that tournament not because he wants the money, that's part of it, but that's not the sole reason. He enters that tournament because he wants to beat Goku and Krillin, because he wants them to get a taste of defeat, because he doesn't want them to think that they're too special and that there's nothing else to learn. The problem with Akito is that she was told she was special, she was a god, everybody was waiting for her, everybody loved her, and after her father died, she had no check. She had no Master Roshi in place because Rain's not even trying to interact with her. She's in competition with Rain. And that competition, in fact, enhanced Akito's belief that everybody is with her because she has to prove to her mother that nobody's going to desert me. I'm really special. I'm the god. No matter what happens to them outside, they're coming back to me. So that competition made that god complex, that lack or that feeling of superiority even worse than what it already was on the surface. So Akira's last words, while it sounded good then, it was exasperated by her mother and the fact that she had no other guidance. Because I still don't want to talk about Kureno, but Kureno is also at fault too. That's all.
Yeah,
I'll say right now.
and I think another big important element of her upbringing was the head maid, because she instills this idea of what she wants from the head for what she wants from the head of the Soma clan. She basically helped reinforce those ideas onto Akito from Akira. Yeah. And while no one else was able to like refute her, she was able to mold Akito the way she wanted, and we got the Akito that we got now.
Yeah. So there's a lot of factors into why Akito is the person she is right now. C donated 20, big 20, and said, # bring back Vivi. Vivi will never be a part of this podcast, so you don't got to worry about that. So it doesn't need to be brought back, but I appreciate you, C.
Appreciate it, C.
Mav said Akira had to tell Akito that she is too special because he wasn't expected to live long. That's another thing too. Like, what disease that Akira have? Why do these anime people always have like this unknown illness and just die? This always happens.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like it got to rain too. Like everybody got like everybody like shoot. Most Zodiacs are sick.
Yeah. Another thing Shigure said, this was earlier in the episode, where he said one person possessed by Akira's ghost is enough. I thought that was like a pretty cool line because he's like, yo, I'm not trying to. This also goes back to when he said he's not trying to be Akito's daddy. Like he doesn't want, like he wants like a normal relationship with Akito, one that's not like where she's having all these burdens on her, and that's why I think Shigure wants the curse to break as well, because like for him in his view, the bonds are another burden for Akito. I think he literally just wants a regular relationship with Akito, but it's a lot of different things that impede that.
Yeah, because even his talk with Ran earlier in the episode, she basically was saying like, I know you don't really love that. You really don't love Akito. It's basically the curse telling you that you love her and that you're really trying to be free of it.
Man, she don't know Shigure.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, Shigure ain't doing it because the bonds. If it's one person who's like not acting in accordance because of the bonds, it would be Shigure. He's doing the stuff he wants because like that's what he wants to do. I don't think he's not really shackled by the bonds, even though they exist. Let's see. Oh yeah. Talking about more so Akito in a competition with Rain, that makes you think about other scenes that happened in the past, and it adds like another layer to what was going on in those scenes. Because like, for example, the scene where we saw it in this episode where Shigure asked Akito permission for Toru and Kyo to stay at his house, that gives it a lot more weight because she's not doing this just because she has this confidence that they'll come back to her. It's another layer to that now because we know she was also doing it to prove to her mother that, oh, I can have this X Factor Toru, who's an outsider, interact with Yuki and Kyo and Shigure. I can give them a taste of the outside world. They can live outside of the Soma estate, and they still gonna come back to me. So like it gives different meanings to a lot of scenes that we see of Akito because now we know about her relationship with Rain.
Yeah, because you're right, especially about their relationship with everything. Because I think it kind of put things in context, especially for season 1, where it's like Yuki and a lot of people was like wondering why Akito did the things she did.
Yeah,
and it was like, why did she do it? Why did she set these things up? And then like I even think we, even in the back of our minds, we kind of realized there had to be some kind of ulterior motives to this.
Mm-hmm.
But now we kind of got like this, like you were saying before, we kind of got like the source of why she allowed Toru to do this. And even while she let Toru live with her, she was still saying like, she met Toru, she was like, oh, that's nothing. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm against? Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, called her the ugly girl, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like before, I think when that scene happened where Akito allows Toru to stay there, my thinking was that she just feels like she has a god complex, and that's part of it. That's part of it. But in this season especially, she's looking a lot more fragile. So it wasn't because she had supreme confidence in herself that they were coming back. It was that she kind of had to have that mentality because she was so gung-ho about proving Rain wrong. So it's one of those things where she jumped in the fire because she was egged on by her mother. So like I said, it gives different dimensions to different scenes with her. So like this episode would make a rewatch more valuable.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So Rain jumps into the room with Akito with a knife. And then the maid, there's like 2 maids holding her back, but like, bro, how did they let Rain get that close to Akito? Like I know they're just maids, it's late at night and whatever. People probably didn't think you would get this bad. But like Akito's supposed to be the guy that you just let a crazy lady with a knife run up all the way to her and almost get to her? Like that's crazy to me, dog. Like bro, like your god almost got stabbed up. Like you gotta do something.
Yeah, man, you let a crazy woman with those crazy eyes walk into your god, your head of the house. That's especially the old hag didn't tackle her, like standing for her Akito.
Take me instead. Nah, I can see her doing that. Take me instead.
Yeah. You just a servant, you always be a servant, and she stabbed her instead.
We gotta call her Parks. That's gonna be her new name, Parks. She loyal. She way too loyal. She gonna ride with Akito no matter what. That's what I'm gonna call her. But
yeah,
what was funny in the episode was when Akito had a knife, and then she was about to stab Rain, and then we'll talk about it. But like when the bond broke for Hiro and whatnot, it was just funny because after she was about to get stabbed, Rain started talking shit again. She said,
"Hey yo,"
she's like, "No, I thought you were gonna kill me." I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" She still got the knife.
Hey man, we seen in the first episode of this season, man, when she was getting choked out, she was just talking shit.
Like it don't matter what's going. Like I think she got a death wish or something. Cause like, bro, like, there's no way. You know how crazy Akito is. There's no way you just gonna keep talking shit when she got the knife in the hand. Like she don't got no care in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The beef is deep. But I guess that goes to our next thing. Hiro and his curse breaking. So he is the 3rd person to get the curse broken. It doesn't seem like it's working in any type of order. Not that I know of right now. But Hiro free. Thoughts on that?
Yes, sir. I love that scene because like when he realized it, And he was like, "Oh, I can hug my baby sister." His mom came in there. She was like, "Oh my god, you got." It was a great moment for Hero.
Yeah.
And then like it's funny that all those guys going like a similar like realization after it, because it's like, and I'm happy but also sad too, because it's the bond is so like crazy, because like it's good and bad for them at the same time. It's good because like they get a connection with the other Zodiac members in a way that you will get with most people in your life. That you always feel connected and feel like you're part of a collective.
Yeah.
But it's also bad because you're just a part of you're just a part of the clog. You're just a part of Akito's collection, and you're not really your own person. So it's kind of like that duality of like, man, I'm free, but now I'm like I'm alone now. Like I have to live like a regular person now.
Yeah, it's also just because those bonds existed for so long. Like they
Yeah.
lived for that their whole lives, and then for it just to be gone like that, like with no warning or anything like that, it's kind of like how do you live your life after that?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a pretty nice scene. I didn't catch it at first, but Hiro's mother realized it immediately because Hiro was holding his baby sister Hinata. So pretty cool scene. Hiro's mother, top notch, never folded, not once. So shout out to her.
The dad seemed pretty cool too. Like even though that we got 13 episodes left, we know he's not a total dick. He's not a dick.
If you're not like an asshole, you pretty much like from Fruits Basket standards, you pretty good as a parent.
It's true. If you're not a dick, you basically Mother Teresa and Fruits Basket. Like you just being a decent person.
I'm there. I've had to debate myself on whether like Momiji's dad is like a good person, because I'm like he's like in a fucked up situation. So it's like I was like, damn, I can't even like really blame him, especially in Fruits Basket standards, because he could just be like dismissive of Momiji and everything like that. But like that situation with his wife is very difficult. So even he's a dude, I'm like, he's even if you don't think he's good, he's decent. And if I put him in Fruits Basket standard, that nigga's a god.
That whole situation for him is like it's so hard for him. Like I feel like he got, like as a parent, he got one of the hardest situations to deal with, because it's like, man, do I get like you like, do I give up you give up your son for your wife and your other kid? It's just like, man, that's hard.
Yeah, because in that situation, you have to make a choice. You can't say I want to raise my son as my son and have my wife as my wife. Someone has to get the short end of the stick, because once these two collide, it's going to go back to the mother being mind broken and going through all that tragedy, which is not good for anybody. So you have to pick. Rexor is in the chat and he said Akito got rid of that goofy. I don't know who he's referring to.
I don't know what you're talking about
either. Maybe he's talking about Kareno.
Probably.
So yeah, that's the next part. We got to go into it, but we're not gonna get into the stab part yet. We're getting to how much blame does Kareno have in Akito currently, if you could give it a percentage.
Shoot, probably like 10.
Okay,
like 10%.
Okay, why 10?
What about you? Oh, because I feel like Akira, Rain, and the Handmaids take a majority of it, and I understand Akito saying like, "Oh, you should have pushed me away years ago and showed me how to be a person." I'm like, first of all, I ain't your daddy, I ain't your mama. And then like you also have to put blame on your Akira, Akito herself, because you forced that on him. You put him in that situation where he had to like, you basically gaslight the man to like stay with you.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion about the situation. What about you?
I'd probably give it around same, either 5 or 10, something like that. I think like a low number is decent. Here's the thing about it. I give him responsibility but not fault. He's not to blame because of Akito, because he really has no responsibility. Once the curse broke, even before the curse broke, because of him not being like, he doesn't have family ties, he's not related to her, he didn't really have responsibility. But if you want to give him some because he's part of the Soma, fine. He shouldn't be blamed, but he has some responsibility because he's been enabling Akito to act the way she has, because he's never been a person to speak out against the stuff that she's doing. And while we know, though, him speaking out against her may have led to bad things for him, at the end of the day, it still happened. He still stood by, and the only time he's really rebelled against her was when he went off on his own, and which she didn't know until he came back the next day, or maybe later that day. And well, I guess it's 3 times, because he also let Toru out of the Soma estate without telling anybody. And then the time where he let the cat out of the bag with Rin, he was like, hey Haru, nah, she locked Rin up. So
yeah,
those are like the only times he acted against her, but he's been letting that behavior slide without speaking up. And a lot of the times, just being a bystander gives you responsibility.
Yeah, that's just like, that is crazy. Like, I feel like if it had been any other zodiac, they'd have been skedaddled already. Like, but for Kureno to be the way he is personality wise, he stayed throughout all of it, all the mental abuse that he probably had dealt with Akito as she got older, like the slaps and everything. Yeah. Like, I'd have been like, the first one, I'm gone. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. You gonna hold me? You can't hold me.
Yeah. And then there's the question of, because she's saying that, but it's a hindsight type of thing. Would that have made Akito's personality better if he would have left when he did?
If anything, I think you made me worse. I feel like Yuki would have got all like I think Yuki and her relationship would have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been. Knowing Akito's character, the words of her father means the most to her.
Mm-hmm.
Proving Rain wrong is like like if you're doing like priorities.
Yeah,
Acura is first, like, his words mean the most. Then proving Rain wrong would be like third, and then from everything on, like, everything doesn't really matter to her. Like, if someone were to say something to her, like, you're acting in a way you shouldn't be acting, she might hear it, but she's going to think in the back of her mind, no, my dad said I'm special. No, I got to prove Rain wrong. So it's like, how much effect would he have really had? I don't think he would have had much, to be honest. So even if he abandoned her in that moment, it would have probably impacted her more negative than positive.
Yeah, because at least with Kureno being the other side, you got like a little support system right there. At least he gave you half, like, even what she was saying, like, you gave me half love and half hate. I mean, at least with the half love, he was getting something. Because, like, if he wasn't there at all, like, I would, like, oh my god, like, I just can't imagine what other people go through. Because she would probably put them on a tight leash.
Yeah. I think
I feel like him staying, like, is the reason why she let Yuki and Yuki go to live with Shigure. Shit like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because then she knew she had one person in her corner.
Yeah,
and I think it meant more to her because he didn't have the bond.
Yeah, she was like, if I secure this one who could leave anytime I want to, I'll be great. No matter what Ren says, as long as I got this one on my in my pocket, I'm good. Yeah. Everybody else will follow the line and come back.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's an interesting question. I think you can look at it in both ways, because then too, you can also say like you said, because she has that mentality that I got somebody who doesn't have the bond who's with me, then she thinks she can easily do that with everyone else, and it reinforces her belief that she is a god. Everybody will come back to her eventually, because if Kureno's here and he doesn't have ties to her, then people who do have ties to her, of course they'll come back in her eyes. So I think you see it both ways. Okay, so Akito style Kureno, what was your initial thoughts on that?
I was shocked. Like my jaw dropped, because I was not expecting that. When people said Fruit Basket was getting dark, I was like, we get a little dark. We'll get a little bit dark. But when she put that like deep in his back. Like I was like, oh my god! Like I was not
jiggled that
like,
motherfucker in there.
Yeah, and she was like, "It's all your fault. I blame you." And then she took off. I was like, "Oh my god!"
And where did she
Like,
run to?
I don't know. She had no like she just skedaddled, man.
Bro, when that happened, I seen a knife. I said, she's not gonna do it. I said she's gonna hold back. Kareno's gonna say something. He's gonna say something, and she's gonna hold back at the last minute. She said, I said, huh? I said, huh? But it's within her character because especially what she was saying afterwards. Yeah. Her defense mechanism is that I'm not in the wrong, everybody else is. We've talked about this ad nauseum. Akito has a very childish mentality.
Yeah,
she'll always put the blame on everybody. She really won't take personal responsibility. We'll see glimpses of her thinking that maybe it's not everybody's fault, but her bottom line right now is still like blaming other people, and she will find a way, even when you don't think like, no, this person has nothing to do with it. She will gaslight you for sure.
Oh yeah,
she good at that.
Because Kareno was talking a big game. I thought, I bet. I was like, Akito finna get some development, man. She finna help my guy. We finna get through this, man. Get through this. Because because like I watched the scene right now. Like she grabbed him. And was like, oh my god, like. We got it. He said, "I'm gonna teach you, man. I should have did it earlier, but I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna step up." It like that meme.
Yeah,
I'm the stepfather. I'm the father that stepped up. Yeah,
man.
She just stabbed my guy, man.
I couldn't believe it, dog. I was like, really stabbed. It's so crazy because Kareno is the one who is just sticking by you the whole time when he didn't need to, bro. That man wanted, hey man, he was on this R. Kelly shit. He said, hey, I want Utani. I'm not trying to deal with you. But he stuck around for your ass. Come on, man. That's so crazy for Kareno. Like, think about it, because Kareno has been with her for over a decade, I believe. For him to be with her that long, for someone you don't even love, that's nuts.
That's crazy. I watch the scene again. It's like this whole time. So take responsibility. It's your fault. Atone with your death. Oh my god,
nigga.
Yeah, she's got a knife in her hand, so she
went around. Somebody.
Yeah.
Well, mo meet you.
Yeah.
Oh no, mo
I felt like it was funny when she was getting like the flashbacks of the scenes because like the first like it was going from like latest stuff to like the stuff that happened now, so you get the flashbacks of everything do in your face. The last thing you see is like Kureno like saying I'll stay with you. It's like, oh, it's your fault. As soon as this stage, shit got bad.
Oh man, hey man, Kureno, despite the Utani thing, man, Kureno good dude, man. He ain't deserve to get stabbed like that, man.
Not like that. Such fine as a back, stab him like a man.
Yeah, oh man, the swordsman's gonna look at him different, nigga. Why you got that scar on your back, nigga?
That's a shame, man.
But
so question: do you think he's dead?
Oh no. If he were to die, like I think that would be wasted potential with the whole Utani thing.
Yeah. Oh man. Damn.
Because like they try to make you believe that he's dead because in that very next scene before he drops to the ground, we see the scene of Utani and her co-worker, and then she's like, this bird is dead. Of course, that's supposed to symbolize Kureno. So like I feel like they're trying to lead you in that direction, but I ain't gonna lie, Fruits Basket, they had the opportunity to kill Reen twice and they didn't do it. So Fruits Basket did get dark, but I don't know if they finishing the job on these niggas. I don't know.
Well, I feel like this has to be the dark, but like people say, don't forget, third season supposed to be the darkest season. So I'm guessing he might be dead. He might be dead.
So how would you? Okay, let's assume he's dead. How do you think they go with the Utani story from then on?
Shit, do we get a story with 13 episodes? Shit, things change a lot.
Okay, disregard the 13 episodes. Like let's say like because I assume like this plays out in the manga as well. So how do you think they go with that story? Do they just it's just like, damn, it's just the L for Utani or what?
Okay, actually, I changed my thing. I don't think he's dead. I think he's crippled. I think he's in Winter versus Life.
I think that's
That's
possible.
that's my new thing. Because I feel like it will go with the whole like bird thematic. Like he's a bird lost his wings, so he can't fly no more. So him losing his legs would because yeah, I think that's my new guess.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I think he could be
Yeah,
crippled.
and paralyzed.
Mav said the bond is like a toxic relationship. You want to leave, but you can't. And when you leave a toxic relationship, there's going to be grief.
Matt also said first go by Hana. Wait, Hana? The last part, the HANNAN part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait. They said that?
Yeah, it was like the math pie is just like could be like math, but you just call them the HAN part. Han.
What do you? I don't even see that comment.
That was like earlier. If you go up a little bit more.
All right, Math, you are now Hanan. Stony said KFC pack smoked, and then Rant said, "What the fuck?" Stony said he was a chicken. Oh, Rant didn't understand what that meant. Hanan said, "Why do you think that Kureno asked the maid to look for Akito instead of helping him?" I think that's just within
You
his
know what's
character.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that he asked like the maid who was like a Ren supporter to help Akito. Especially first of all, I just see her stab you, and I've been seeing she lovey dovey with you all the time. What you gonna do to me?
Yeah, I'm not approaching Akito right now.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I'm not touching Akito right now.
Mm-mm.
Leave that up for any y'all Zodiac freaks. Y'all got that. Y'all handle
Oh, damn! I just realized Akito gonna be in a like. I don't know if first gonna go because do you think she get a chance meeting with Toru and Kyo?
I don't know if they're going outside.
Because
It's possible though.
yeah, because it seemed like Kyo looked back at Toru when she was finally going in the rain with the umbrella. So I can see a moment where like they're walking together, or it could just be a moment where like Kyo just go and he meets Akito.
I mean, it could happen. I don't know. Right now, she's just running around like I said. Like I don't know where she's going. So
Like the rain, like ain't crazy. Like, that was crazy last episode. Episode before that. Basically, wherever Momiji curse ended, when she walked all the way to Momiji house, like barefooted, was just to see him. I was like, oh my god.
pulled up on him. Like, what's happening?
Yeah. My bad about that. My bad about that happened last summer, man. That wasn't me.
Oh,
That wasn't me.
Akito, some wild shit. When Utani seen a bird dead, did you take anything from that other than like? Well, okay, that's a bad way to phrase it. I'll just tell you what I feel because I think this may be a reach, but like when they see the bird and like their dialogue is like first they say like did a cat kill it, and then they say like oh maybe it was like a window pane. Like it like on the surface like that makes sense for them to assume something like that, but I think that also just ties into the story because at first they say a cat, and like the way I think that ties in is because like they blame a cat when the cat had like nothing to do with it whatsoever, and it kind of goes back to like everybody like always pushing things onto the cat to be like the main perpetrator of any bad thing that goes on. And like I said, it works within like a bird being dead because it makes sense that a cat would do it. But like I said, it could be a reach. But then also the window pane thing too is almost like the minute Kureno gets stabbed up is when he steps outside of Akito's room when he's outside the house. So
Yeah, because when I seen that scene, I kind of I knew the cat's motif, but I was trying to think about the window pane. So now hearing you explain it, I think my thing would be like for the window would be like maybe it's like maybe it was something where like the Kureno like did it to himself. Because he didn't because it kind of probably parallels what Akito was saying because he didn't like push her away when she was younger. Now now is reaping to himself. His death is on his hands, kind of.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. The last scene to talk about though is the scene between Kyo and Toru. Kyo is about to go outside in the rain. Toru stops him. What did you take away from that scene?
I think Kyo's gone, man. He gone.
I think it's
like,
I just
go
want to
ahead.
say first, I think it's especially bad because it's raining. Remember in season 1 where we learned like the rain makes him very like groggy and like he's like sluggish. Like he doesn't like the rain, so for him to go outside now, that's very suspicious.
Especially as a cancel deck too, he naturally hates the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn it, man! I feel bad for Kyo. Like the last few episodes is really like he probably won't change my list, but I appreciate him a lot more.
Yeah. I think that scene of Toru stopping Kyo though relates to 2 scenes with her, both involving her mother. The first time when her mother like abandons her when she has the lone care, and in that moment Toru couldn't do anything just because she was a child, and there was nothing she could really say to stop her mother. And the second time was when the day of Kyoko's death, and I believe she was like sleeping when it happened. She didn't tell her goodbye or anything. And in this scene, she has a chance to like actually stop the person from going outside, because there's probably nothing good from Kyo trying to go outside. Honestly, it could go in a dark thing to where he even attempts to like kill himself or something like that. And maybe like the scene of Toru stopping him would prevent a scene like that. Because I think Kyo, especially right now, is in a very dark place.
I also noticed that like in the opening, one of the scenes is like Kyo taking the beads off, or the beads coming off of Kyo. So maybe it's something where like Toru get an accident, and Toru gets an accident by going with Kyo.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think next episode is going to be like, it may be like a climax in the season. I think it's going to go in a bad direction with Kyo. I think we both speculate that.
Yeah, it's so crazy because I don't know about you, but do you feel like exhausted watching these episodes? Like just how much stuff is packed into them, like the action and everything else. I'm like, golly, can we get a break or something? Can we get some like lighthearted like school fun, something?
Oh nah, the fun stopped in like episode 3. There was some like fun moments with like Momiji in episode 4, but even that episode had a dark tone towards like the second half of it. But the fun stopped. Like I think like the only characters who want to have fun is like just the student council. Like they're like the only ones who would probably give us like relief at this point, because Toru's in a dark place, Kyo is, Yuki has been pretty much absent this season. Like everybody's just in a dark place right now, so I only think like a few characters could give us some type of relief. Like we get it in spurts, but I think the overall tone of each episode has been pretty dark, especially past episode 3.
I really want more Machi and Yuki, man. So I wanted that.
Boy, I don't know what they doing on 13. Man, don't let Fruits Basket be the series that like is my downfall again. Like y'all already fucked me over with The Promised Neverland. Don't do it with fucking Fruits Basket. Please don't.
Next week we only have 5 episodes left. That is crazy.
Don't remind me, man. I'm hoping that somebody got bad information. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on though, but I think we covered everything. I'm gonna head out, watch the playoffs, man. But Perry, you want to say one last thing to the people?
Thank everybody for showing up. Thanks C for donating. Thank Rance, Rexar, Stony, Mace, Windex, Hanan, Shiki, Light Ruler. I'm trying to get everybody. So Darius, QRW6, King Bio, and John Boy. Thank everybody for everybody else. Thanks for showing up, man. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back next week, same time.
Same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be here, probably talking shit about Kyoko. Cause like I said, man, I think things gonna be pretty bad. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah.
But, like, comment, subscribe if you're watching the VOD. Ots and Rap Podcast.